Hi, folks. We're Tacitus Today. Tacitus Today, your pushback channel. Thank you for joining this audio live stream. In this essay, I'd like to talk about a far left journal, but a far left media outlet, but it's quite big and influential. And they decided to screaming headline a while ago that there'd been an undercover operative had gone into an inner city police station to spy on the police officers and had come away with the most incredible misogyny, fucking Nazis, Hitler, swastika, Nazi, neo-Nazi, fascist, misogyny, patriarchy, racism, xenophobia. It was all there. And so let's just have a look at the conditions and circumstances here and just see how impartial it was. Now, the undercover operative was given a fake background by the media outlet, and somehow, even though they clearly weren't qualified or able to get this job in the real world, they were able, nonetheless, they got waved in. Now, whether there was back office collusion between the executive management of the police, but this police force and this police station would be probably the wokest in the entire Western world. So would you go into a police station like that expecting to find widespread, racism and misogyny or whatever? That would be the last place you'd go. But somehow they select the wokest police station in the wokest police force in the Western world. So anyway, the brown, I think homosexual, but the brown gay guy goes in there to do the thing with fake applications, somehow gets the job. I think that's a bit sus, but anyway, he's in there, and he's in there for several months, I think about 6 months or so, and comes away with a report, some of which was recorded or caught on sort of secret camera and that sort of thing. But now, after that many months, you'd think he'd come away with some real serious stuff, like prisoners being beaten to death, or fabrication of evidence, or police colluding with drug lords, or I think it'd be something, corrupt payments. I think that would be what you would imagine would. But no, fuck that. The stuff that they came out with, which was the misogyny, the Nazis, the stuff they came out with is about as low level as you could possibly get. So in one instance, a police officers recorded of complaining about some online date that they'd arranged, and they went to the date, and the woman looked nothing like the photograph in the online profile, and he was complaining about it. And because he was using some disparaging words about the woman, this was held up as being evidence of severe levels of misogyny, Nazi levels of misogyny. The guy is fucking Hitler because he complained about a woman who turned up the online date not looking like the photograph. But fuck me, the guy is Hitler on steroids if he's doing that. Now, that could be a conversation that you would record anywhere. Did they record women complaining about online dates, the female officers or the female admin staff talking about that? No, or did they record brown or black people? No, only white guys would be. So another one was a woman had complained, or more than once, women came in saying being raped, but they had no evidence. Well, I don't know who the guy was. Well, where does he live? Oh, I don't know. So what can the police do? And so this was touted, though, this is just more misogyny. More so, the woman wasn't believed. Well, the woman had no evidence and couldn't give, description, a name, a place, couldn't give anything that the police could act on. So what could they do? Not very much. But this was still touted as, well, there you go. The guy's dismissed a vulnerable woman's claims. Okay, well, what could he do? What could the police officer do? Was this straight white male the only guy that ever did that? What about the brown and the black officers? What about, didn't they? Is it only this straight white male that did it? No one else. I mean, straight white males only make up just under a quarter of the total number of people in this building. So why is it that every single instance recorded was only a straight white male? What about, brown and black people or women running around saying there are Nazis and fascists everywhere? Why is that not listed as being a problem? Why is it only this? That only it's racist so now I couldn't. There was nothing in there that sort of raised my eyebrows in terms of serious matter. When you could say, well, the guy could have been maybe a little bit more patient and sensitive, but they're processing hundreds of cases during the nights, in particular, when they like to focus on this. So during the nights, they're processing hundreds of cases, and everyone's sort of hysterical and running around trying to process these. So at the same time, well, why didn't they give more time to this woman's claims, even though the woman had no evidence? And they didn't balance the article out. They didn't make a point of saying, well, the woman had no evidence. What could the officer do? Instead, they dismissed the claims of a vulnerable woman demonstrating severe levels of misogyny. And then they'll get a quote from some radical activist lesbian who says levels of misogyny are off the charts by these evil fascist Nazi straight white males. So there was no attempt to balance, no attempt at being even-handed with this. It was straight. It was the undercover operation that had shown evil fascist Nazi Hitler levels, swastika misogyny and racism and xenophobia, and that was it. Done and dusted. And then, of course, politicians and the senior. This has no place in our society. We will get those officers and fire them and take them back and fucking shoot them. Well, wait a minute. What the officer's done is this some ideological misdemeanor? I mean, what is it? So clearly the whole thing was a load of nonsense. And I'd like someone undercover to go into some woke police station to see how many times Nazi and fascist are mentioned. And then every officer did that gets fired. Why don't we play the game that way and see how it goes? Why don't we look at just a random man say he's a white supremacist fascist Nazi, let's get him. Why don't we record that and fire every officer that does that? Why don't we go and look at brown and black officers and get their disparaging comments about white people and then fire them for racism? If it's okay to go one way, then it should go in the other. But of course it doesn't. It's only going one way. It's only straight white males are being targeted with this. And if you applied that same standard to any other group, with it, women, brown, black, whatever, any other group, then you would have plenty of instances that are more or less the same. But is that happening? Well, of course not. You've been with Tacitus today, your pushback channel. Thank you for listening.